A lo largo de los años, para muchas personas, Estados Unidos, en algunos ámbitos, ha sido un líder, un estandarte, un ejemplo a seguir, o simplemente el mejor. Quizás por eso, el mundo, a lo largo del tiempo, decidió convertir a Estados Unidos en la meca de las teorías conspirativas, como por ejemplo, la teoría del origen de los reptilianos, el viaje del hombre a la luna, o los extraterrestres capturados del accidente en Roswell. Es un país que da mucho de qué hablar en todos los sentidos. En este caso, nos adentramos precisamente a una de las muchísimas cosas que oculta esta gran potencia. El gobierno estadounidense, como muchos sabrán, oculta demasiada información confidencial, desde política hasta sus propios medios de comunicación. Pero lo que verás y oirás a continuación va más allá de eso, ya que involucra la vida personal de uno de los artistas más queridos, talentosos y codiciosos que tuvo el mundo. Estamos hablando del rey del pop, Michael Jackson. Su misteriosa muerte, la cual hasta el día de hoy no se termina de aclarar con totalidad, provocó todo tipo de controversias, hasta tal punto que un ex agente del Departamento de Defensa de los Estados Unidos, llamado Robert Connors, salió a las redes a declarar información y datos ultra confidenciales que esconde hasta la fecha el gobierno de los Estados Unidos. Datos, información y archivos que simplemente no son revelados por conveniencia, por motivos obvios, ya que para ellos es mejor que el mundo no esté enterado de lo que realmente ocurre.
For those of you that can see this video or hear this audio, I just wanted to make you aware of what's going on. I feel if I disseminate this information, I may actually get a night's sleep. I'm showing my face, and I will reveal my name for my own protection. So if something were to happen to me, you know it was not an accident. My name is Robert Connors, and I have served with the Department of Defense for over 20 years. Prior to that, I served active duty campaigns in both Iran and Vietnam. I have served my country with honor and distinction. My record speaks for itself. As an ex-DoD operative, it was my duty to protect the Constitution and mitigate foreign and domestic threats in this country. I joined the department to create a safer world for my children and now grandchildren. Unfortunately, the last decade of my career, I have seen and been a part of one of the biggest threats to this great nation and its citizens. In March of 1994, I was brought in as Director of Communications for a project called Operation Sedgwick, formed under President Ronald Wilson Reagan in 1989. This program was the second stage in the project called MK Ultra. Its focus and sole purpose was the control of the African American population and urban youth through music. Yes, you heard me correctly, through music. I have in my possession a series of video and audio recordings detailing the existence of this project. My division was ordered to destroy all documentation and archive footage. I, in good conscience, could not. This is the information that the American public, along with the families involved, were told bold-faced lies about. From the first-degree murder of the Sane Parish Crooks, also known as Tupac Shakur, to the evidence of influence of entities well beyond this federal government, beyond this world, will be revealed in these tapes. To my friends still at the department, please, I repeat, please join me. For the Bible says, whoever knows the right thing to do is, but fails to do it, for him it is sin. I can no longer live in sin. So, I am giving the Department of Defense until Monday, September 23rd, to do the right thing and disclose this information. If they do not, I will release these tapes to the media outlets and into public domain via YouTube. And to show I'm not bluffing, I will release Michael Jackson's final phone call on the eve of his death. Mr. Jackson's phone was being tapped, and he is speaking of a government conspiracy to murder him. I know this video on this channel will probably be deleted, so I urge you, please save, download, and re-upload everything that I release for freedom of information's sake. God bless you.
Estas fueron algunas de las últimas palabras de Michael Jackson antes de su muerte, la cual habla por teléfono con su antiguo manager Dieter Wisner.
I don't understand. What do you mean? Talk to me.
I can't talk about it over the phone. I don't know what's going to happen, but I just feel in my soul, only God knows, they could shoot me. They could stab me. They could frame me and say I overdosed you on drugs. They can do a lot of things.
Who could do these things?
It's not the government. It's more than the government. But I don't know, Dieter. I don't care. They can kill me. I don't even care my life anymore. I just want my children to be okay. My angels. I want them to be safe.
Michael.
Do you think, Michael, do you think it's murder?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I said it in the beginning, and I believe it to this day. Absolutely. Absolutely. You must remember, Michael told me repeatedly that they were going to kill him, that he was going to die. And he would say that. And when I heard my mother scream, "He's dead," immediately I said, "Who did it?" I didn't say what for, what of, what happened, who did it. Because he repeatedly said that. And he not only told me, he told my mother as well,
Yeah.
and she mentions it quite often too.
And who did it?
There's quite a few involved. The doctor that you're looking at, the doctor that you see there, was the fall guy. That's what he was. He was the fall guy.
And so there are people in the background
There are people in the
pulling
background.
strings?
Yes, absolutely.
I knew Michael was surrounded by people that positioned themselves in his life, positioned themselves to control and take advantage of him. And that's what bothered me more than anything else, because I knew something terrible would happen at the end, not to mention the fact that Michael constantly told me, "Latoya, if I die, they're going to murder me, they're going to kill me." He would tell me that, Barbara. When I found out he had actually passed, I said, "No, it wasn't an accident. He was murdered."
Your brother was murdered.
I always believed that from day one, when I found out that he was no longer with us. I said, "I'm not going to accept anything else, Barbara." They could have told me a heart attack. They could have told me he had fallen off a ladder, and I would have said, "No, it's not a heart attack. He was murdered." Did he fall off a ladder? No, he was murdered.
Who murdered your brother?
I don't know exactly who. I think there are more players involved than we know. This is just my opinion. This is what I feel. I know what Michael was afraid of. I know that when you're in a position...
What was he afraid of?
He was afraid of his life. He would say, "I'm afraid of my life. I'm afraid they're going to assassinate me. I'm afraid they're going to kill me." He would always say that, Barbara.
LaToya said that Michael was murdered by people who would benefit financially from his death, but she never made it clear who she believes was involved or how they would profit. Will you name names?
I think within time it just might come out and people will know.
Si te gustó el video, deja tu like, compartilo y muy importante, suscríbete para no perderte ninguno de los videos.